challenging. It's fun. The travel's the hard part. We're about to go do it again this week. But the guys have played well. We did a good job at Monroe. Early in the game, we executed. We scored. We got off to a big lead. I think the 15-minute mark of the first half, we had 21 points to their 4. Last 8 minutes, we turned it over uncharacteristically too many times. A couple offensive fouls, shot clock violation, but more important, poor decisions, poor passes, just poor execution, and let them hang around for a minute. Then second half, we came out and did a good job, and were able to win the game comfortably. I think we led wire to wire, and even with too many turnovers and a few missed free throws, we still win by double figures on the road in a conference game against your arch rival. We did a really good job defensively on Blackman. He turned around and got 24, and he beat Texas State. He scored 5 on us, and we really did a nice job defensively on him and LaCour, both those guards. I think LaCour had 11. But that was part of the game plan. Guys regrouped. We took off for Mobile Friday morning, had a quick turnaround for a 3 o'clock tip, and we were sluggish to start the game. We didn't defend the way we needed to, gave them some confidence. One of their players, Kevin Samuel, all-conference pick, did not play in the game. I think it affected us a little bit. We were prepared for him to play, and we adjusted right before the game, but I think it probably led to part of our poor start. It shouldn't have, but I think just human nature tends to make that happen. Up 25-20, let them make 3 threes and get run on a run there, and maybe 18-3. They get ahead of us right there at the half, and I thought Greg Williams hit a big 3-point shot at the end of the first half that we needed. And then we came out to second half and really defended them, did a good job, and were able to make enough shots and make enough stops to win the game on the road. And it was a good college basketball game. Really proud of Jordan on this trip, Greg Williams. Joe Charles was fantastic. Joe missed 1 shot for the weekend, had a career high against Monroe, and then turned around and scored double figures again. Jordan had 6 assists against Mobile, which is career high. I think he had 5 against Monroe. So he's doing a really good job getting the ball out. We're getting some easy opportunities, and that's leading to some good offense for us. And speaking of offense, we are ranked number 10 in the country in three-point field goal percentage. We're 11th in the country in field goal percentage and 14th in effective field goal percentage. So we're nationally and at 25th in scoring offense. All right. Let's see, defense or offense a minute ago? Offense, yeah. So, but we've done a good job. We've done a good job rebounding the basketball, too. I think we're 23rd in the country in rebound margin. So the team's playing well. We're playing with some rhythm, and we just have to continue to keep our head down and work.
Obviously, I was going to say, just obviously you're proud of those offensive numbers that you just listed. I can see the smirk. What do you feel like has been the biggest key to allow your offense to flow so well?
Just playing together. I mean, if you go back and look, last year we went 6 of 8 to close, and then went 3-0 on a Puerto Rico trip, 14-4 now. We're used to winning, and I think the more we play together, the more we've gotten accustomed. We've been fortunate. We've avoided injury so far, and we've been able to start the same lineup every game. And we talked about changing it, waiting to see what would happen when Kobe came back. But we're playing, and everyone understands their roles. Themis has done a good job. He's nationally ranked in assists. Jordan has scored the ball inside. Greg's played like an all-conference player that we knew he was. Really proud of him. Joe's come on like we knew he could when we recruited him. He does so many things outside of scoring. When he gets you a dozen points, then that's just a bonus. But just from playing together and, the offensive number, I mean, I'm just telling you guys, you probably didn't know that, but that needs to be talked about. I mean, that's impressive. Top 20, shooting the basketball. So our guys have worked over there shooting right now, getting ready.
Coach,
is that the most?
Talk about the depth of this team, knowing that you've got 8 or 9 guys
that you can depend on to make an impact in a game for you?
Yeah, it's nice. We can go too deep at every position depending on how guys are playing with foul trouble, defensive matchups, a lot of different depth and versatility, and it just gives us more options.
Is that the most improved part of Jordan's game? The ability to give up the ball once he gets it down low when everybody collapses?
Yeah, I think so. That and his free throw shooting's been good too. He's done a good job in conference play there. But he's passing the ball. He's seeing the ball. He's getting double and tripled. I think he's getting used to it. And he was hoping he would get single coverage the other night, and that didn't happen because of the big guy not playing. So, but he's got to continue to do that, and we've got to space our floor and continue to get easy baskets.
Was that I know you're worried about the details of the game as a coach, but I thought that was, and I didn't see every game, that was the best game of the year. Most exciting, like back and forth, the game in Mobile.
Yeah, I mean, the game against Louisiana Tech here was pretty exciting for us to come back and be able to beat them after they had outplayed us for half the game. But it was a good college basketball game. It was back and forth, and Jay and I joked about this on the post-game show that just in the middle of the second half, it's back and forth and one possession down the stretch, and would you expect anything else at the Mitchell Center?
So, Themis his game has been fascinating because he's obviously, you're still playing without Mike, and so he's had stretches where he gets frustrated and then he makes a fantastic play. So just talk about how he's handled the ups and downs of kind of being the solo point guard for a while.
Well, he's done a really good job. He loves to compete, loves to win, and had 8 assists early in the ballgame the other night. If he could have been solid, and he threw a couple away, and he got beat defensively a couple times, and I pulled him out. But he could have had a double-figure assist game easily. But he's carried a lot of the load. We hope to have Mike back this week. Kentrell's done a good job for us in spot minutes also.
You mentioned Joe and just kind of all the different things that he contributes to you guys. When you see him have a scoring outburst like he did in those last 2 games, like how happy are you for him because of all of the things that you maybe can't see that he contributes?
Well, he made 3-point shots on this trip, and that's something that he hasn't been shooting the ball great from perimeter, but he's been working on it. That was a big plus. And just to see him shoot a high percentage, he's very effective. And scores in various ways. Had a running hook shot the other day at the end of the clock. It was a nice play, of course, still in the dunk. And he got several drop-offs from JB in the double. He's an excellent cutter. And Joe just, again, we knew when he was in high school, he had a great understanding of the game. And he's healthy as he's been in several years, and he's playing like it.
In the last 2 games, too, you guys seem to really dominating the paint. I think I had plus 40 in the paint in both of those games. Just what worked there.
Just able to get the ball to Jordan. He's strong with the ball, I thought. He had a couple of turnovers in each game, offensive fouls, but he has done a good job with it. And when they collapse, we're able to kick it out and get open shots. And it's one reason our 3-point shooters have done a really good job. They've had some wide open looks.
Coach, if Mike comes back and playing like he was before he went in the protocol, other than the minutes, obviously the minutes matters, but what can he do to make y'all even better? Y'all been playing well, but what can he do to make y'all even better?
His speed is the best on our team with the ball. He ain't Kentrell, so we need him pushing the basketball. He shoots the ball very well from 3, so he can help us there. He's an excellent free throw shooter. He can help us there. And he's made big plays. I mean, he made a huge basket at Asheville against East Tennessee in a tie game, middle of the second half. And then I thought he played extremely well at SMU. Themis struggled in that game at times, and Mike came in and helped close that game out. So we'll work him back in, but it'll help everyone on the team, but especially Themis.
What's been the key to winning on the road? I mean, y'all done it all year, going back to Asheville and being able to do that, this past weekend.
Yeah, were we 7-4 on the road? Maybe, is that right? Yeah. So We've been good. I mean, we've played hard. We've played together. The guys like to play on the road. I think that's something that some teams are afraid to go play on the road, and we look forward to the opportunity and the challenge. It's about how you play. It doesn't matter whether you're home or away. We talk about that all the time. The team that plays the best is going to win. And I thought, even though we got outshot from 3 the other day, I thought that we did a great job of getting on the floor and making little hustle plays turn into big success for our team.
What about the two teams you're facing this week?
Arkansas State beat Old Dominion in the opener. They've had their ups and downs since then. They've lost a couple of close games recently, and they're a different team. Caleb Fields is an all-conference guard that you'll remember. He's played for 3 years. He's a good player. Avery Phelps is a shooter that's back, can really shoot it. Malcolm Farrington, Marquise Davis are other shooters that are back. They've got a young man from Egypt inside that transferred from Assumption College. He's good around the basket, does a lot of dirty work for him. He's not a three-point shooter, but he's averaging a double-double, and he's really helped their team. And they've got a point guard from Chicago, Terrence Ford Jr. It's really playing well for him. And he has actually started with Fields some. But their backs are against the wall. He always has his team ready to play against us and the crowd, and will be against us as well. It's a tough place to play, and we're due to go play well there. So that's a little bit about those guys. And then Texas State, the two-time defending champion of Sun Belt regular season. Mason Harrell's back. He's a first-team All-League guy. You know, Nigel Caesar is playing really good for them. Nate Martin is playing the best he's ever played for them. So they've got a different team. They lost a couple of good players, but they've got a good team coming back. And their typical game be like playing Monroe, Kevin, to some degree, that they're going to try to keep the score in the 50s. They try to do a really good job with tempoing. They don't want to get up and down and play fast.
Coach, with the departure of Little Rock from the conference, it kind of messed up travel plans a little bit. How do you plan to keep you guys focused, knowing that the travel is a little odd than normal?
Yeah, not only did we lose Little Rock, they're 5-13, and UTA 6-14. So I wouldn't mind having those back. The teams we brought in are pretty good, at least this year. But it is a different travel, and we've never made this trip from A-State to Texas State. So, again, the demands on the road will be up. We leave the facility Wednesday morning here at 5 o'clock in the morning and fly to Memphis and get in and practice. And then the next morning we'll fly into Austin, or on Friday morning, and play those guys and then bus home. So that's the demanding part.
Do you think your kids understand, I'm sure the coaches, and you look at the standings and A-State's towards the bottom, but we've learned all year long that doesn't necessarily mean all.
Yeah, you see the separation. We talked about this last week, right? That after this weekend, things could be changed, and we could be a game out of first, tied for first, and it's just too early. We're a third of the way through. We've got 6 weeks left, 2 games per week, and then we'll go to Pensacola. So, put on your seatbelt. It's going to be a fast ride.
To that point, I guess, there's 6 teams tied at the top, including y'all, as far as in first place for the Sun Belt. Does that just speak to kind of what you said about just how competitive this league is?
Yeah, and I didn't know there was 6. I thought, but could be. I know that Marshall has played 5 of 6 home games. Everyone has a stretch like we're having right now, Seth, where you go through difficult road games. And give Texas State credit, they start 0-2 at home, and they turn around and win 3 straight on the road, lose by 1 possession to Monroe. They could have won 4 in a row on the road. So every game's important. Every game matters. And then at the end, the seeding will be important because it determines matchups for the conference tournament.